So I feel like the best example of this at a couple of different levels was about a year ago, we started at the county an improvement network with a group of schools focused on decreasing chronic absenteeism and really targeting some best practices in attendance improvement efforts, right? And so specifically with them, we brought to them what was a research-based change idea, this idea of a nudge letter that like you communicate with families about the number of absences that their son or daughter has had, and you do it in a pretty concise, simple sort of way with a bar graph that when folks see that, many cases, and there's research in support of this, shows that that families often say, wow, I forgot how many days my son or daughter has missed. That's more than the average kid. It does produce, a change in their behavior, and that you see attendance rates improve and things like that. But like we took this idea, yanked it out of research and said, is this going to work in San Diego County, and is it going to work at these 18 schools? And so how we went about doing that was through these really short PDSA or improvement cycles. And so our team, really sat down with each of these school leaders, tried to come up with, a plan that would work for all of them, but recognizing they each were in totally different contexts, rural and urban, smaller schools, larger schools, and realized this was a perfect opportunity for us to really engage in a whole series of improvement cycles that was going to give us data back on everything from the design of the letter, how easy it was to create because the schools had to create it themselves off of our template, when they should send it, what time of year, what students they should target. And so we ran ourselves ragged with probably all the questions that we were hoping to learn from it, but we ultimately narrowed it down to a set of kind of common ones that we wanted to look at, really just around how much time does this take you? Is this job aid useful or not? And we ran some cycles and we got some feedback from these participating schools on, the usability of this letter, how much time it took, how many, letters got sent back to them, how many parents came in, and asked questions about it. And that led us to then, make some revisions for that second cycle and a third and a fourth. And we ended up, running a series of, improvement cycles with this network of schools over the course of the whole year. And we got to a spot that I think for me was some of the most rewarding pieces of it were, number one, we had a really tightly constructed package that supported, before we started with just this Word document and a mail merge spreadsheet. And here, make this work. And at the end of it, we had talking points that went alongside of it for school leaders to share with front office staff. We had a whole job aid built out in the Mac or in a PC to support the front office staff in creating these letters. We had timelines to assist them in terms of when they should begin preparing them, when they should be mailing them. And then most importantly, we were also collecting, student outcome data over the course of this year. And we're thrilled to see that, 16 out of the 18 schools had a significant reduction in their chronic absenteeism rates. And the thing that they pointed to the most, when we tracked it over time, was that when these nudge letters went out, they showed evidence that they drove down, absences at the critical points in the year when typically things had been spiking. I feel like for us, the win, clearly the win that the schools were most excited about was that decline in their chronic absenteeism. But for us, I feel like the outcome really was learning. We learned a heck of a lot about this strategy does actually work, and we learned how to make it work, right? In 18 totally different schools. And so we're set up in a way that we can use this nudge letter with future schools here around San Diego County.